Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Terrence with Smoking Asphalt. Today I'm going to install a set of Longtube headers from Speed Engineering, as well as an off-road X-pipe on a C6 Corvette. These are 1 7/8 primaries to 3-inch collectors, Longtube headers from Speed Engineering, along with the 3-inch off-road X-pipe, no catalytic converters. They're going to be going on a 2013 Grandsport. Let me go ahead and pull this car in. Going to be the car that gets the headers today. It's a 2013 Grandsport. I believe it's Inferno orange. Automatic LS3 car. It's stock, super clean. Go ahead and go through the full installation, see how bad it is, see how good the Speed Engineering headers fit. It's gonna require any type of fitment modification. Sometimes, you know, it'll be tight around the steering column or the steering shaft, and hopefully we get all these exhaust manifold bolts loose without breaking any of them. So my plan is to get the car pretty high up, because I believe both headers are gonna be installed from beneath. I'm gonna get the rear wheels on some ramps. Front's gonna be on jack stands. I may not remove the front wheels and tires just to get some clearance. Okay, now that we got the car in the air, let's go ahead and focus on under the hood and start disassembling. Like I said, I got the front on jack stands under the engine cradle, and the rear are gonna be on the ramps. What I like to do when I'm doing header installs on these C6s, remove everything from the top side so that I could reach the bolts to the headers. We're gonna do cold pack covers, cold packs, ignition wires, spark plugs. Get those spark plugs out the way, you don't want to damage those. And then we'll disconnect the O2 sensors, go from there. We're at the point to where we freed up some space. Got the spark plugs removed, ignition wires. Decided to keep the coil packs on for now. May have enough clearance here. Pulled the dipstick tube out as well. Also, don't forget to disconnect the battery. So I got the pre-catalytic converter O2 sensors disconnected. Now I need to find the post plugs for the O2 sensors and disconnect those. And then we'll be taking these flanges loose, taking the nuts loose on those. Start from the back and work my way up to the front to the stock exhaust manifolds. This car is in really good shape. pipe off. Came off pretty easily. No fighting or anything. Did bust some knuckles, wear gloves, some proper PPE. Got those 4 nuts loose. Next pipe's off. I did have some concerns. Sometimes I'll see the clamps that hold the rear portion of the exhaust on before the axle with some welds on it. The clamps are welded on to the mid pipe, but thankfully they're not welded on to the axle, the crossover pipe. Next we'll move on to the O2 sensors, unplugging those, and then we'll see about dropping those catalytic converters and the exhaust manifolds. I'm at the point of starting to remove the stock manifolds. Got all of the bolts loose on the passenger side. I have 1 left in there. They all came out, didn't break any bolt heads. I still have the cat connected to the manifold, and I still need to unplug the O2 sensor as well. Alright, check it out. I got both manifolds removed from the car. If you want to use the O2 sensors, the original O2 sensors, you don't have the special tool to get them out of the manifold. What I did was passenger side, D-pin this plug, remove this blue piece, make note of the black wires, the blue and the white wires, there's indicators. D-pin these bad boys and you can fit a regular 22mm wrench over it. Bust it loose. That's passenger side. Driver side, same thing, D-pin, but you'll have to take the heat shield off of the exhaust manifold. As you can see, some of the bolts tend to break, understandable, but once the heat shield's removed, use a 22mm wrench. So we'll go ahead and move on to the header installation now. Got one of the GM gaskets. I have some of the ARP stainless header bolt. I'm gonna fish the header from the bottom up, and we'll see how this goes. So I get the rest of these header bolts installed and check back with you here. For the most part, passenger side slid in pretty easily. Here's a glance clearance wise, about level with the bottom of the car. You can kind of see collector poking out down there. Nothing horrible. Let's move on to the other side. Alright, got both headers installed, bolted on. I am impressed with the fitment of these headers. So far so good. Driver side has plenty of clearance around the steering shaft. So I'm going to shut it down for tonight and pick back up in the morning.